Good morning. Still morning, right? Good morning. Yesterday, the world saw the truth of January 6th. They saw what we knew, that our Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police of Washington, D.C. were our heroes. They risked their lives to save the Capitol, our democracy, and to honor the Constitution which called for us on January 6th to count the vote, receive the electoral college votes, to count them, and to certify the President of the United States. There was an assault on that particular day. It wasn't just any day of the week, to make sure that we did not honor the Constitution and that we would disrupt the peaceful transfer of power. Those law enforcement officers were heroes. They risked their lives to honor the oath they take to uphold the Constitution. Their testimony was powerful. We thank these patriotisms for their heroism and the valor of that dark day. And we thank them for their courage to present their harrowing testimony of what happened that day. We have a duty to the Constitution and to the country to find the truth, to follow the facts where they take us, and to honor the trust that the American people have placed in us. We must ensure that the American people have confidence in the truth that emerges. We thank our heroes, more than just the four who testified, but the story they told. I have quoted President Lincoln many occasions, and I did most recently yesterday morning to the House Democratic Caucus. And this is what he said during the Civil War. We cannot escape history. We of this Congress and this administration will be remembered in spite of ourselves. No personal significance or insignificance can spare one or another of us. He then went on to say, Lincoln did, we bear the responsibility to find the truth and to ensure, again, this is my words now, this attempt to overthrow the government never happens again. This is called patriotism. It is about the Constitution. It is about the life and future of our American democracy. There is no room for politics or partisanship. I salute Chairman Thompson and the entire committee for the solemnity and patriotism they brought to the proceedings. I'm very proud of all of them, but all of us are most proud of the law enforcement officers who testified. As the Select Committee pursues the truth, the House continues to work for the people. Right now, we have the appropriations bills on the floor that meet the needs of America's working families. I'm always taking pride in the Appropriations Committee, being an appropriator for many years myself. It's a place where we always strive for bipartisanship. We always try to find common ground. The President said that help is on the way. Well, we can say with these bills that help is here, with the investments in jobs, opportunity, and again, working families. That is what unites us as Democrats, our commitment to America's working families, despite whatever differences we may have. And in this legislation, we're benefiting Americans' working families with investments in health, education, and financial security as we advance justice. Rebuilding the infrastructure as we take America into a clean energy future to fight the climate crisis. We're helping workers by creating jobs, thousands of good-paying jobs that this legislation will engender. We're fighting future pandemics and advancing America's preeminence in science. Science, 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 and science. Honoring our duty to veterans and keeping America safe. At last, the Senate has, again, I go to another subject, on the subject of the supplemental that we sent over 2 months ago to the Senate. I'm very pleased that we're hearing that they may be taking up that legislation finally today. It's not what we sent. It's certainly not what we need, but it is a good step forward. We are eager to see what does transpire. We understand it will happen today. There are certain things that we had wanted to have a bonus for our workers. Here they're not in. Well, when we see what they actually pass, we can talk about what we need to do along the way. But we do, it's long overdue, months overdue, hundreds of billions of dollars underfunded, but nonetheless, I think that the actions yesterday by our law enforcement officers and their appeal to get something done as soon as possible has perhaps even jarred the Senate to move in a bipartisan way to pass this legislation. So we look forward to seeing what they do and hopefully taking up that legislation this week. It doesn't mean that we're finished, but it does mean that we can't wait another day until we strengthen our Capitol Police force, strengthen the Capitol, the actual physical Capitol, so as soon as we can come to a time when families and children can come and learn about the Congress, legislators can do their job, you all can do yours, covering it all, and we can return to some normalcy. And that, I guess, is about it for now. Any questions?
Speaker,
No.
Just to clarify something from earlier, is Kevin McCarthy a moron, and if so, why?
I said earlier in my comment, science, 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 and science. On almost every subject that you can name, science is the answer, whether it's the climate crisis, whether it's a health crisis, whether it's our preeminence in the world in technology, science, 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 science. To say that wearing a mask is not based on science, I think, is not wise, and that was my comment. And that's all I'm